So and my fingers are in good shape, as you could tell.
That was really you.
Yeah, that's me. I play for Lisa Clancy. She does a morning cup of jazz and around here, pretty close, and a lot of the. I know a lot of professional musicians. I was number one, as I told you. I get.
Why don't you play again really fast?
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
I'd love to hear it.
Well,
This is Elaine from Arkansas.
What
This Wayne, South Dakota.
what songs can I play for you? Name a
Oh,
song.
whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Please,
Well, I
anything you want.
songs from the 1850s on up to the current things, you know.
Surprise us.
This is Ron, Southern California. Let's hear it.
Hi.
Hey there.
Well,
This is Fred from Zephyr Hills, Florida. Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
you like Frankie and Johnny?
Sure.
I don't know who they are.
We're ready.
Okay, how about this one?
Oh my gosh.
Who was that? Tell us.
You ought to play at one of the summits.
Who brought Lawrence Welch?
Yeah.
Joplin.
Scott Johnson.
Free bird.
Maple Rag.
Are we jamming?
Hi, this is Michael, Solar Boy in Northeast Ohio.
Great.
It's hard to hear everybody talking with the music.
Can you tell us who this man is that's playing?
No, I'm not on the control board. Sir, we cannot understand each other with all your music. It's really nice, but this is not the time to be entertaining us, please.
We asked him to. We begged him to. So don't
Oh,
blame
did
him.
you? Okay.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, my sister's a pianist.
Would
Claims
you
that
would you
Clemens
tell us
is
your
the
name?
order.
Your name and where you're from, so someone can get in touch with you.
It's only
Oh, I'm Mike from Northeast Ohio.
No, the one who's playing.
Oh, the one that's playing.
It's two letters, same backwards and forwards, Bob. What could be simpler?
What
Hi,
say?
Juanita and
Well,
Charlie and
that's not
everybody.
Bach.
It's John from Yuba City, California.
Hello, Rebel. Hello, John. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Go see you in a couple weeks.
Hi, Juanita.
Oh, yes. That's good. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. It's Charlie.
Thank you.
Hello, Joanne. Hey, Juanita. Hello, everyone.
Joanne from Alaska.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Joanne.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi, my name is Big V. It is Thursday evening, and we are going to be joining the lead call. You just heard some jazzy music. This is called Jazzy Thursday because I heard the music before I went on the air. So that's why I named this video Jazzy Thursday. We'll see what happens tonight. I'm sure we're going to hear about the event that's happening here in a couple weeks, about the New Jersey, about Steve Fagan. To be honest with you, it's getting mighty old. We know Steve Fagan passed away. There's a lot of memories of him, but we've got to move on here in the society. That's for sure. Here in a couple weeks in April, myself, I am going to be disappearing for a week. So I will not be recording this program for at least an entire week. So I'm planning a trip. So a trip is being planned between me and someone else. So I'll give you more information about that later on. Last summer in 2018, me and my daughter went to Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas, to the Believers Convention in Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas, at the Convention Center there in Fort Worth. And that's where we went. The year before that, we went to Kona, Hawaii. And prior to that, we went to Las Vegas together. And this year, we are making a plan to go on another trip, which I will announce at a later date. All right, we're going to go back to the Thursday night league call. Hopefully, they got some updates about maybe the future new Wednesday night call where they're going to try to scam you out of your money again. Like they seem to be somewhat successful at scamming people out of their money, but nonetheless, that's what they do. That's what they do. That's what the society does. So we're going to go back to the Thursday night call, and you guys can enjoy listening to the interaction amongst members. Here we go. Enjoy.
I don't even know what book. What book are we on? This is the Frank Carvalho's call. This is the Prime Discovery call. So if you have the hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello. The bird is from Virginia. Hello.
Hi, Virginia.
Welcome. Hi, Virginia. Thank you.
Hello, Lindsay from Kansas.
Hello, Lindsay. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. This is Wayne from South Dakota.
Hi, Wayne.
Hello, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
How much of the snow you got out there? It's hard to tell. It's all piled up.
Oh, gosh. It's like spring here in Arkansas. It really is.
There's
Yes,
strips
it
on
is.
sides of the houses all the way up past the windows.
Oh, my gosh.
Good evening, everyone. This is Dorita from Alabama.
Hi, Dorita.
Hello, Dorita. Hello. How is everyone doing?
Thank you.
That's good.
Charlie, are you on yet? Hello, Charlie.
Hello. Hi, everybody. This is Ed from upstate New York. How are you?
Hi, Charlie. It's 69 degrees in northeast Ohio.
There we go. I'm Ohio.
There you go.
Here, yeah.
69 degrees.
My goodness. Hey, he's almost up to Florida weather.
It's 74 this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been in the mid 70s here in Florida.
Oh.
Oh,
Hi, everybody. Mary from Mississippi.
Hi, Mary. Hello, Mary.
hello,
Mary.
Hello, Mary. Yeah, it's 70 degrees here.
Good.
Hello, Mary. Mary, I just left you.
That's the reason.
65 out here in California.
Is it?
Warmer here than Ohio.
Yeah, I think it's over 70 here in Little Rock.
It was 70 in Alabama. We had 74 in Virginia.
How about it's 25 in Rapid City. All right.
There's a big talk from Chicago.
Steve from West
Hi, Chicago.
Florida.
Hello?
Good evening, everybody. Mike from Alabama.
Hello, Mike.
Hi, Mike. Welcome.
Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Hi, Mike.
Good evening. It's Stanley from Oklahoma. Hello.
Hello there, Oklahoma. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
From Idaho.
Linda from Omaha. Hello, Andrea. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is Florida.
Hello, Andrea.
Yeah.
Hello, Florida. Welcome.
This is Beverly Waters from Washington State. Hi.
Well, hello, Beverly. Hello, Washington State.
No longer being recorded.
I'm calling from San Jose, California.
Hello.
Hi, California.
Hi, California.
This is Maria of California.
Hello, Melissa.
Oh, God, Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Hello, Wisconsin.
Hey, Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
Hello, Michigan.
Hi, Wolverine.
Yeah.
Dallas, Texas.
Hello, Texas.
Hi, Dallas.
This is Dave in southeast Michigan. We got a tornado warning.
Hi, I'm here from Naperville, Illinois.
Be careful. Hope you're listening in
Reporter
your
from
basement.
Louder, South Carolina.
Hello, South Carolina.
Hello. South Carolina.
Hello.
Irene from New Jersey.
Hello, Irene.
Irene.
Hello, everyone.
Jersey. Irene. Hello.
Hello.
We're getting pummeled with hailstones.
You guys have.
Oh, my
Where are
goodness.
you from? Where do you live?
Southeast Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah, Michigan's having a lot of problems. I hope your safe
Yeah.
spot got hailstones coming down.
Yeah. We got a tornado warning.
Yeah.
Leave here, but don't drink the water.
We got a
I refuse the bad weather.
tornado warning this afternoon. I don't know if it's touched down anywhere or not.
Hello, California. Welcome.
Yeah, that's in Alabama's got several tornado warnings.
Oh, we had it all day, all evening. Up here in North Alabama.
Yeah.
And
Stay safe up there.
northeast Mississippi.
Hello, Juanita. Hello, Nathan Family. This is Julia from Chicago.
Hello, Julia. Welcome.
Hello. Hey, New York. Victoria from California.
Hello.
Hello.
California, Vic.
Dawood from Mississippi.
Hello, Mississippi.
Hi, Dawood. I missed you on the clubhouse call, Dawood.
Yes, I'm sorry I missed your meeting today. I'll catch it next time, for sure.
Yeah. I hope so. It'll be the 11th of April.
Okay, I'll make sure I put that down.
Okay.
Thanks for
We all heard you say that, so you better show up. We have it on recording.
Fine, Charlie.
You ready, Juanita?
Hello.
Muted.
Now, Woo, you better show up at that meeting. Everybody heard you. Anyway, how is everyone tonight? My name's Charlie Bohr. I'm here with Juanita Heckel, and this is the Frank R. Wallace Prime Discovery call. Juanita, how are you tonight? Juanita? Juanita, are you there? I lost Juanita. Well, anyway, I'm going to start talking, and maybe she had a bad connection or something. I want to talk about the Reach Out program first. You all heard about the Reach Out program, but I know all of you are not on it. I'd like to ask why. You know, when you start to meet other members, it really does make a difference. Hello? All right, I don't know what's going on with this thing tonight, but I don't know where Juanita is. So get on this Reach Out and start talking to other people. That's what this whole thing is about. It's about connections. So let's pick it up here a little bit, because it has slowed down a little bit. Basically, all you got to do is just send an email. Send it to C, as in Charlie, C Moore, M-O-O-R-E, options, O-P-T-I-O-N-S, 68 @gmail.com. So it's C Moore options 68 @gmail.com. Just send me your name, your phone number, and the state you're in, and it comes out every other week. It won't. It was just out 2 days ago, so it won't be for another 2 weeks. No, I'm sorry. It goes out next week. You might say it does go out next week. So, and with that also comes the newsletter. I came up with the idea, but I was taken over by Brenda Reinhardt, who was really taking over the whole thing. She set it up. She's adding more things every week. If you have any, I hope you're reading it. Let's see.
Hello?
Hello, there you are.
Oh, yeah, I got kicked off the call. Excuse me, Charlie.
Well, put another quarter in the slot, will you?
Yeah, intelligent.
I told you you have to have those rolls of quarter ready, you know.
I do.
But yeah, it's the newsletter is getting better and better each week. Brenda's going to write an article for it next week. So if you want to write articles, basically, we'd like to have a series of articles about one word. And Brenda has picked the word commitment, and that's just to have something on the newsletter about the word commitment. And how does that tie into Neo thing? So if you come up with a word that you'd like to do something on, send it in to Brenda, and that email is neonews, Neonews, neonews101 @gmail.com. Neonews101 @gmail.com. Send in any suggestions that you have for the newsletter. Send in any articles that you want to get on, and read them every 2 weeks, because it's basically, that's how you're going to find out about a lot of what's going on in the society. So do that. And Juanita, we talked about the Reach Out program already. We also talked about the newsletter. Now we're going to talk about the event. Sage will not make it tonight about the event, so he apologizes, but he had something that he had to do that was scheduled for a while, so he couldn't make it tonight. So me and Juanita's going to cover this.
Okay. Well, it might be a little rough ride here, but I'll do my best. You want to start it out, Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm so excited about and exhilarated about this event because...
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, well, you know, as you all know, that on March 30th, we are having a celebration workshop for Digger. And this workshop is going to be held in New Jersey at 1 Hotel Road at the Marriott. This is a celebration for Digger, and we have some great things going on for this day. We have mentors coming in with essences that'll blow your mind from Washington all around, and we have music. We have Steve LaValle, Tim Holdstad coming in. We have I'm coming there. We have
you don't need any more reasons. It's right there. Juanita's going to be there, people.
Yes, I am making a way right now. Been doing my plans for this event. We have Charlie, of course, is going to be there, and Larry Johnson and Sage. Even though he's not here tonight, he will be there. And I wanted to, Charlie, if I missed something on this, I want to take a little time for this tonight anyway, because I've had deep thinking about this. What I wanted to say to all of you tonight. I've had calls come in. I've had people say things, or members. I'm not going to call you people. I'm going to call you value creators, members. What's going on here is going to be a life changer for everyone here. We've, thinking about what Charlie's done, what Sage has done, what Larry Johnson has done, to keep everything moving forward like Digger would want us to be doing. Digger, he didn't even get to see his grandson. But, however, like he puts it, however, what has been given to us, as all of us, we have a zon here now. We have a zon. I know I've been a parent in my life, and we all can be parents. We all can be parents, but it takes a tribe. It takes a tribe to raise a child. And we have the Neo-Think tribe. We're the tribe here. And this family, Digger's sons that he educated, and they're very educated, they don't need our funds. They don't need that. But what do we offer here? We have our essences. We are creative-driven people here that are going to move the society forward. We're going to move the world forward. But isn't it a treasure to see a newborn have a future that's going to be without the virus of mysticism? I mean, a pure zon there. And we're all going to get to be part of it. So what does that make us? That makes us godparents. We're going to be godparents. Neo-Think tribe godparents to this zon. I'm just so moved by it, Charlie. I just can't, it's just the exhilaration I have felt ever since I thought about all this, how we're getting invited into this family. And, this is the time we can show our self-worth, what we're made of, how we're going to change the world. But look at how we're going to embrace this newborn. Just like Mark says about the prime law, the precious newborn. Well, here's it in the physical. And to have any mysticisms or and I'm going to say neo-cheaters out there that think that Charlie, Sage, or Larry, just to have that opportunity to be part of that is a treasure, people. So I wanted to talk about this a little bit because, I had a discovery on Sunday night. I actually, because of Karen and Charlie and them bringing up the child of the past, I discovered when I first started seeing in pictures, I was 7 years old. 7 years old. You know that was a big thing to me Sunday night. And I think about this. Had I not been put through all this anti-civilization out there, where could I have went at that age, seeing in pictures like I did at 7 years old? Remember my first book, remembering my teacher reading to me. It all came flooding back Sunday night. I wanted to share it on the call, but there were a lot of people on the call, or members, value creators, that were sharing their essences, sharing their child of the past. So I'm waited for tonight real quick. So I want to let you all know, coming to this celebration, we're all coming with our essences. Do you know how powerful that is? Do you know how rewarding that is to us, that we're going to put a mark on the society and the sea of you out there? And I want to hand it back to you right now, Charlie, because I know you want to talk about the dates and stuff, the time.
I just wish you put a little more emotion into it, Yeah, it's important to let people. It is important here for us to share emotions. It really is. This is a different type of society. It's a different type of organization than anything else out there. And I think, there's going to be some major announcements here, and I'll give you just a peek of some of it. I'm going to probably late in the afternoon. I'm going to give like a state of the society, and I have looked at this, since Steve died, and I'm not sure if everybody thought that the site was going to fall apart or whatever. But I am more determined than ever now to move this society forward. So I have a couple ideas. I have a couple, I think, major announcements coming up at that, at this workshop, and then I'll announce it to the rest of them, I think, after that. But I think it's important to understand one thing here. We are not giving up. We are moving forward. I know at last year's workshop, me and Steve talked about this for about a month before the workshop, and we weren't sure if we were going to do it there or not, but we did. And we did kind of a state of this society less than 6 months ago. And it wasn't really good at that point in time. We had a lot of anti-civilization in the society, and a lot of that is gone now. It really has, it's been cleaned up, a lot of it. We'll always have some neo-cheaters here, but that's just because they're coming from a neo-cheating world, and they want to just, we have neo-cheaters here because it's part of the AC world that we can't keep out of here all the time. But I think that society is going in the right direction. We're going to have some exciting things coming up. And it's going to give us a chance to really make some strides here for all of us. And it does help if you come to an event like this, just to have that feel. I mean, after the last 8 years, I have been with Steve on every event. We have put together clubhouses, and we put together workshops and summits and everything else that you can think of. And we never got tired of doing them because of the feelings that we get for that weekend. Just seeing everybody and exchanging ideas and just enjoying meeting the people that we haven't met before, but we heard them on the phone. Sue Silver's coming. She hasn't been to one in a couple of years. I think that's great. Rosa Maria Wallace and Tony Ward's coming. Frank R. Wallace's widow. She's an absolutely wonderful person. I've met her, I think, 3 times now, but I haven't seen her in a long time. And she's just an incredible person. And she's going to give a nice talk about Steve, because she always liked Steve, and that's why they're coming out here. And but we haven't seen him probably about 5 or 6 years ourselves, and so it'll be good to see her again. It's just a special event. It really is. And this one's going to be different because this is the first one that we have done without Steve. And I think Sage and I, and now Larry too, I think the 3 of us are really working harder just to make sure it's going to be okay. And I know it's going to be okay because of the numbers. I think we are going to really blow by what we were hoping for with the numbers. I think there's going to be many more people there than we originally thought, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm getting calls from, in fact, I got a call from a guy today, and I never heard of him. He's an older gentleman. He left me a message, and I'm going to talk to him tomorrow. Never heard of him. And he's coming down. And it was like, whoa, He says, I really want to meet a lot of people. If you haven't been to an event, and if you can somehow afford it, if you're far away, get here. If you're within driving distance, I'm talking about, New Hampshire, Vermont, anywhere in New England is not far from us. We're right over the river from New York City. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Maryland, Virginia, it's not that far. Hop in a car and get here. You don't have to fly. Or take the train up. It's just a great way to spend a weekend. It's a great way to start making friendships. And that's something we haven't talked about too much. I'm like, Juanita, you're right. Let's take a little bit more time on this. And I'm not
Thank you.
This is part of being neophyte. This is part of why you come to these calls. Friendships here are, I don't know about you, but I would think most of us in this society do not make many really good best friends in that AC world. I had one great male friend through high school and part of college, and I never had another best friend male until Steve. So And I would think a lot of us here didn't have a lot of best friends over the years. I mean, I had friends in my life, but they were never like, ones I could count on all the time because I didn't get that close to them either because I didn't fit with everybody like most of us have. And the friendships that you make here are so different because we've been looking for each other our whole lives. I went 57, well, I got my first book at 57. I didn't meet anybody until I was almost 58. And I didn't think there was anyone out there who was like me until that day at the clubhouse. And here it is, all these people, 40-some people in a room, and they're all happy to see me, and they all feel like they know me. And then I could talk to them. It was like, it was one of the greatest days of my life, honestly, because I could talk to people without being afraid to say something. Excuse me. That was such a great feeling for me that day. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget meeting Steve for the first time, and Sage and Larry Johnson and all of the other guys that were up there. But it was just, it's a way to take off pressure off yourself, because while you're there, you know that you can speak your mind, and people are going to understand it. We never had that before we came here to NeoThink. And now, I look at it, and just friendship-wise, there's probably close to 10 people here that I know I can count on for anything. And Juanita's one of them. These are friendships that I never had before. And for me to say I got all these best friends is like, just doesn't sound right to me. But it happens in NeoThink. And I want to take this a little more personal, and because Mark Hamilton talks about, finding the love of your life here or so. At the last workshop we had in September, I was coaching Brenda Reinhardt, but that's it. But we actually met last year at the, and now we're together. And so it does happen, and it can happen. This is a very personal journey, but it's also a very public one, and mine has to be a little more public because of the position that I'm at here. But I'm just trying to talk to maybe the few people out there who's been thinking about, should I go? Should I go? I really probably could afford this, but I don't. Come. I'll guarantee you'll have a wonderful time. You'll learn. You'll meet new people, and you wish the weekend wouldn't end. And it stays with you for such a long time. I'm excited that we're having this. I mean, it's a shame for the reason that we're having this only 6 months after the other one, because we were only doing them once a year. And I am planning on, I'm not going to get in detail yet, but I am looking for, we want to start doing these in different parts of the country. And me and Sage have talked about this, and I want to mention some of this at the workshop of ways that maybe we can be a part of that and start to have. I would love to see every quarter of the year. So that's basically we have the 4 quarters in a year, and we're always going to have ours in September. But then I like to see one out west somewhere. I like to see one down south somewhere, like Atlanta or Houston or something. And I like to see one in the middle of the country, more, and get like the 4 sections of the country, and appeal to those people. I mean, anybody can come, but appeal to the people who are not that far, people who couldn't come all the way to New Jersey, but now they can go to maybe Atlanta, something like that. Because I think it's so important for us to be meeting more than just once a year, and then only meeting the people who can afford her. I mean, I know Juanita works extra hard at her job to come up with the money to come to New Jersey. And I admire that she does this. And this is her 5th year? Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah, it's my fifth time, Charlie.
Yeah. To me, that's actually, to me, it speaks volumes of your character. You make it your goal, and I'm not trying to, it's just, you have to appreciate what people, and that's the thing that Steve really put in me a lot. He says, and he was telling me, he says, one of the best pieces of advice he gave me was always remember your audience. no matter who you're talking to, know who you're talking to. And I think why we were so successful at doing these things is that we did think of the audience, and we, and I talked to a lot of the people who are coming. I helped them sign up on the website, where they call me and they have a couple questions, and they, I know what some people go through to come up with the money to get here, and how can I not give this my all? How can Sage or Larry Johnson and Steve, when he was doing this? That's why these things work so well, because we know what you go through to come. And we don't want to disappoint anyone. We don't want anyone to go home feeling that, it wasn't worth the time or the effort. We try and give you thousands of dollars worth of knowledge for $100. And we try to keep the room cost down, and we try to keep this cost down. And we do that, even if you can afford this, why spend extra? We are trying to help everybody here get here. And we understand the difficulties it is for you to do that. So basically, what I'm trying to say now is the next big event is probably going to be back in New Jersey in 6 months, at the end of September. So for the people who would love to come but think that they can't afford it, I want you to look at it in a whole different light. You have basically 6 months until the next event. Do project curiosity here, all right? If you have to fly in it, like if you come from the Midwest or the South or something, you want to fly in, then start to just price out tickets for the airfare. The cost of the ticket for the event is going to be somewhere between probably $100 and $150. You know that you're going to need some money for food. The hotel can be a little high, but it's not over high. And then lunch usually is about $20 on Saturday. And then you just, so you don't need to rent a car. You just fly in, and then you just take the shuttle to the hotel. But for people, so then you say, all right, this is going to cost me, $800 or $900 for that weekend, counting everything, right? The flight, the food, and everything else. Now divide that by 6. And you come up with maybe $125 a month that you can squeeze out somewhere. If you can't, you can't. But we hear people all the time, well, I just can't afford it. Well, I understand. But every year, sometimes it's the same people saying that they can't afford it. Well, as long as you say that you can't afford it, you never will. So just look at it and say to yourself, can I afford this? Instead of saying, I can't afford it. Well, maybe, can I? And ask yourself that, and then look at it. Look at the money coming in each month that you have, and look at what has to go out for the bills and all that stuff, and see if there is a way that you can throw $50, $70 a month out. Put it in a little savings account or something. You know how much, if you can do that, all right, think about this. I mean, this is what neurothinking can teach you. If you make a goal tonight, I can't come in March, but you know what? Charlie was right. Maybe I just have to look at this in a whole different light. Can I really afford it? And don't do it tonight if you don't want. Look at it tomorrow if you have time tomorrow, and look at it and say, all right, let me see if I can really do this. So then you put everything together, and you say to yourself, you know what? That's a possibility that I could really do this. Now, let's fast forward 6 months. And the morning comes where you're going to fly up to New Jersey. Never been here. You're excited. You can see possibly New York City. How do you think you're going to feel? You're going to feel absolutely fantastic. First of all, you're going to feel some pride in yourself. I did it. It was tough many times. I didn't think I was going to get all this money, but I did it. It's going to make you feel like $1 million. You're going to walk in there in that lobby, and there's going to be all these near thinkers happy to see you. And if you're going to tell your story how you got there, because you did this and you saved here, and whatever you did, tell it. They will listen. But you're going to feel so good about yourself. That's a big step. I know it's scary to come to a place that you don't know anything about. You haven't met anybody yet. But I tell you, it's, like the old Cheers TV show, and Norm walked in, everybody, Norm, right? Everybody knew his name, right? Well, it's the same thing here. Everybody knows your voice. You've been talking on these calls. where people are happy to see you. And that's what Friday night is for. We sit in that lobby and we don't do much. We just talk, you know. And people walk by and you hear their voice and say, that's so-and-so. And then you walk up to them. You know, Joe, is that you? Yeah. Oh, this is great. It really is. I mean, that's how I met Juanita. She was walking down the hall and I heard that voice. I never met her up until that point. And I was talking to somebody. I said, excuse me for just a minute. And I went out there and said, Juanita, where are you? Because I heard the voice. It's a wonderful way to meet people. It really is by the voice. You know, but I can tell you almost the event where I met someone from there, I think, for the first time. That's how it sticks with you. Because that's how you meet people here. It's maybe you met some people at a clubhouse, and that's great too, but you always remember that's where you met them first. But most of the people I met here has been at either on clubhouses or it's been, you know, I don't usually meet people one-on-one because usually there's not that many people around you to do that. So it's always through these activities that we have, these events. And I can tell almost everybody that I've met what event it was. It might not be, I won't know the date, but I'll tell you if it was a clubhouse or if it was a workshop or if it was the summit or one of these workshops that we're doing now. All this stuff sticks with you. It makes you really feel a part of this. And you'll feel so good about yourself that you did it. So, and then you'll say, you know, man, I could have done this for the last 3 years. Now you're starting to believe because now you're looking at things different. I think sometimes we fall short on some of our goals and dreams and because we don't ask that one extra question. We don't go for that one extra integration. And just by saying to yourself, can I afford it? Instead of saying I can't afford it. I can't afford it. How about just saying, can I afford it? Just put that one word in front of everything else, and now you sit down and you figure it out. And if you can't, you can't. I don't want you to get hot and not pay your mortgage or something because you come to the summit. But see if there's a chance. And it'll just make you feel good just to check it out. Because you might realize, you know, I still can't afford it, but, you know, I'm not that far away. So why don't I save it and then maybe go to one the following year? You don't know. But I think it's that important for everyone to come to these, you know. I know some people will never come, and that's okay. I'm not judging anyone here. I'm just trying to see if we can get a few extra people to come who really want to, but thinking that they're not. It's a great way. It's just a great way to meet people. It's a great way to feel more part of this society. And Juanita, if you want to add anything onto that, please do.
Yes, Charlie, you did it. You know what? You're so passionate. I love it. Yes, I want to add that when you talked about the price, I want to share something with everyone. I have gone to personal development, learn real estate, learn this. I paid, I don't know, just not even a year ago, $1,000 to go to a real estate workshop. And I brought a neo thinker with me because they gave me a deal. I could bring someone with me. And he's my friend. And I brought him with me. And in that workshop, they just lead you on, lead you in, lead you on. And it's about taking from the poor, or taking from the rich and giving to the poor. I mean, it was just the AC mentality all the way. And at the end of the workshop, they're wanting more thousands of dollars, 10, 20, 30,000. And they give you a little notebook and pat you on the hand, send you on your way. Well, this is NeoThink. We have the goods here. Every time I go to one of those conferences, workshops, networking, it's nothing compared to what we have here. So the value is here, and more than the value. I always tell Charlie, I owe him $1 million, but I need a new pair of shoes first. But I'm just saying, we have these tools here that are going to drive us into the sea of you And what is the sea of you? What is it to you? What does it mean? Doesn't it mean that you don't have all of this hardships and your family looking at you like you got 6 eyeballs? I mean, what is the sea of you to you? But you need to embrace neo-think. You really do. You need to embrace it. And I think that's where Charlie sees in me, that I embraced it. I made a commitment that I was going to be there because I want to learn. I want to know more. I want to know, because I know that this world out here, the way it is going the wrong way, and we're aging, and we're not getting anywhere, and we're heading towards death. And this celebration for Digger, it's not about death. It's about, we're celebrating his essence. So even to lose the mentality of that AC mentality, what death is, we're immortal. The soul is immortal. We just need to get there in the physical. So we're seeing where we want to be, but we need the result. We got to get the result. The only way we're going to get that is if we're going to band together. We got to bond. We can't have this AC mentality coming in here. We're not going to move forward that way. So that's what I wanted to say about it. And plus, I wanted to say that if you want to book a room, it's $115, which this is in New Jersey, right across from New York, where you can't stay anywhere like that for this beautiful hotel. For $115, if you just call and tell them that you're with NeoThink or with the Steve Fagan Workshop, and that phone number is, oh, shoot. Okay, that phone number is, hang on a minute.
I got it.
Okay, oh, thank you, Charlie. Can you give the phone number?
Yeah, it's 973-623-0006. That's 973-623-0006. Say it's for the Steve Fagan event or for NeoThink, or say both, and then that's how you get the discount. Now, if you can't afford the room, but you can maybe, if you want to share a room, I'm going to throw it back to Juanita.
Okay, yes, and two, we're in NeoThink, we look at saving each other money. We look at helping each other get through all this. So if you want to share a room, you can have this, give me a call.
Hold on.
Than I ever had out of NeoThink. And when Charlie was mentioning that, I have one friend that I've had for over 30 years. He has Alzheimer's. I go see him. Sometimes he doesn't remember if I've been there or not, but he's got NeoThink mentality, believe me. So I have, like with Charlie, I have friends here. I met them through all of these events I've gone to. And Tommy, and oh my gosh, he spent the night at my house. I've had Martha spend the night at my house. I've had him in my home, in my books. I mean, this is a great way to build a better life, and to know that you're on a journey, a personal journey, that you don't ever have to look back again. There's no returning. So anyway, Charlie, I think I got everything out there on the numbers.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, though, just call 800-997-7970. 800-997-7970. If you want to book the ticket for the event, and if you're afraid of using a computer because you might mess it up, then call that 800 number, and then I'll help you sign up. But if you want to do it on your own, all you got to do is go to www.stevefaganworkshop.eventbrite.com. So it's www.stevefeganworkshop.eventbrite, and I'll spell that because it's spelled a little different. Event spelled the same, EVENT, but Bright is spelled BRITE.com. So it's stevefeganworkshop.eventbrite.com, and then just follow this screen. And it's like 2 or 3 clicks, you're in. You just put in all of your information. It sends you back an email with a copy of the ticket, and you're in. It's only $100. We are going to have a lot of vendors at this. This has grown, so if you have a product or a service that you're in business with, it's only $35 for the table. And you actually get a couple minutes to talk in front of everybody about your product or service. And we're going to have a lot of tables there, too, from what I can see so far. So this is becoming more than just we didn't know what to expect because we threw it together in only 2 months, but usually we take 6. So, but it's coming around. People are coming, and a lot of people are coming who don't even know Steve Fagan, which is another thing I didn't even think of. But they just want to come and meet people, or they heard Steve a couple times on the calls, but they never met him, or they didn't know how important he was, or it's not he was important. It's just that he affected so many people's lives. And it's going to be, it'll be a little teary, I think, in the beginning, but after that, it's going to be one great day. It's just an amazing thing. So we have about 20 minutes. At least that's going to something here. But I thank you, everybody. This is part of why we get together. It's not that we have to come out and talk about what's in the books all the time. Let's talk about life and how NeoThink affects that. And that's what we did tonight. And I think it was good that we did it, because we don't talk about. Usually we get their week. We take certain pages of whatever book that we're in, and we talk about it, and we try and put it into our lives about it. And I think that's great. But sometimes you just got to go off the cuff here and there, and you got to dance a little bit. And Juanita ended up being a really good dancing partner, man.
Thank you, Charlie. Yes, we do have to go off of it because I just want to add that, Mark talks about this is the real deal. Well, we're real. We're real and we're the real deal. So we need to embrace that. We need to embrace all the value that NeoThink is bringing to us. And we're having new members coming, like Charlie said, that they've never experienced that. They've only seen in the book, like Charlie telling you how he remembers all he knew was in the book. When I started out, I was chasing people all around looking for members and looking and driving here to California, everywhere. I just wanted to know someone who was in NeoThink. So this is great that everybody comes together and we don't have to go. It's in one place and we can really get to know each other. So it's something that you can get with like-minded, and you can have a integrated conversation without having AC coming in and you grow. I know Charlie can tell you I've grown. He knows I've grown, or he wouldn't have me on this call with him. and this is what and it's for everyone to grow. We can all grow together. We're in a great time. Right now is a great time, and what Digger put out there for us, what he has put there, I can see it. I have that wide scope. I see everything that he did, and it's coming in, and it's quite overwhelming a little bit to me. But I know you're going to feel it too. It's going to come, and you're going to feel it, and you're going to go, wow, all of this, and it's priceless. This is priceless. And I am just, that's why I get so emotional, because I think about the whole thing, and I've been all charged up for all week.
But yeah, it's not that far away. It's March 30th, which is 2.5 weeks? Not even that. So it's coming up. There's so much, I don't know. Because we only have about 10 minutes here that we have left before I have to do healing list. I was thinking about we had our first webinar last night, and that went, I thought, really well. But the big part of why it did go, I think, we had Steve Rappel on, and we had Dave Dakota, we had Sue Silva, and we had you heard blank. Me, and then we had Josh Seymour. Josh is on. He's been around a while, but he hasn't been with Neo thing too much, and he's very young. He's only like around 30. He looks like he's about 10. And it was a 5-hour song last night, and basically the call's broken up into basically 4 sections, and one is a Q&A. But most of us talked from our heart last night, and talked about, that we are going to be covering basically the prime cure. But we're covering it in a whole different way because there's so many, basically we're doing it by mastermind. If you're not familiar with the mastermind, it's really, people just, it's set up like someone's going to present something, and they do maybe 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. And then for the rest of that half hour, it's all of us exchanging ideas about it. So you're going to get a whole different look at some of the parts of these books, because someone's going to say something that, well, you know what? I mean, I'm anxious to really get into this too, because we learn too. You have to understand that. We aren't any different than you. We have to keep learning too. And somebody could, it's like in a Q&A, and a member comes up and says something, and it's like, whoa, I never thought of it that way. And then like the next day, I'm thinking about it more and more. So that's a great integration there. And that's what happened last night, I think. And it really went well. It was just weird that, that we're on the screen. So I had to get used to looking at myself, and it's not it's not the biggest thrill of my life, but it was fun, and we had a good time, and I know we're only going to get better in that. But we were talking, it really came up where Dave and Steve and me, I think, really came up with a lot of personal stories about Neothic and what it has meant to us and how it has helped us. And I've always believed, I might not be the world's greatest public speaker, and people have spent thousands of dollars on how to speak to the public. And I think it's just a bunch of crock myself, because I always believed in just 2 things. Go up there, be totally honest, and just be yourself. That's all. That's it. That's all I've ever known about public speaking. And I got better at it, I think, with Neothic, because I became more of myself as I learned here each year after year after year. And it gives you this power. You'll feel power at this event. You'll feel it when you get, it's funny, when I was living in Jersey, and it was in Newark, it takes about an hour and a half to get there, and I would drive up the turnpike, and I would really not even have the radio on. I'm just kind of relaxing driving up. It's Friday late morning or early afternoon, and I just want to get there before the traffic really goes crazy. And I enjoy the peace and quiet in the car, because I know as soon as I walk into that lobby, I'm not going to have any peace and quiet, but I'm going to be entering the sea of you. So I just enjoy that peace and quiet, because I know between now and the time I leave on Sunday, the only time I'm going to have a little peace and quiet is when I go back to my room. So it's kind of neat that, but that's how I was doing it. So like this year it's going to be a little different, because I have someone coming with me at this time, but it's a great way to just, when you walk into that lobby, especially if it's your first time, there's going to be someone there from there that you might not recognize anybody, but eventually you're going to bump into somebody, and then, and then you'll just ask, where's so-and-so or so-and-so here, and then they'll point out and all that. And you're going to feel relief. You're going to feel excitement. And then as you go through that Friday afternoon or Friday night, and when everybody's down there and you get to know all these different people, you're going to be so grateful that you're there. And you're going to feel this great thing. You know, it's going, man, boy, am I glad I came. Or am I glad I came again from last year because it was so good last year. I had to come back this year. It's a feeling that you probably have never felt before when it's your first time at one of these events. And I can still, as I said, I can still remember the first time I walked into that clubhouse. And that was in 2008. It was 11 years ago now, almost. It'll be 11 years this August. And I walked into that clubhouse not knowing anything but reading books. And I talked to Steve on the phone either 3 or 4 days before that event. And he was the first person I talked to from the society. It was like, wow. I mean, I didn't talk that long. He says, yeah, he says, the clubhouse is this Saturday, so let's go. And I said, yeah, I can make it. And so I really didn't know anything else at that point. And as soon as I walked in, it was like, ooh, the energy just almost blew me back out the door. It was unbelievable. And I sat there the whole day, and it was just, my head was just spinning, my heart's pounding, and I was feeling, wow, this is unbelievable. I want you to have that feeling. And I try to make that Friday night make you feel as comfortable as you can, but you're not walking into an event. And I went to plenty of events over the years, and Juanita has too. How many times you go to an event and you don't know anybody? You don't know a soul.
That's right.
You know, there's 500 people sitting in chairs and you don't know anyone. And maybe by the end of the weekend you got a couple names. But the whole time it wasn't, you know, it was exciting, but you don't make any connections because you're probably there about a business thing or something. And but when you come to this, even if you haven't been to one yet, you're meeting people that you know. And you feel welcome because we are happy to see you. You don't feel that way in any other event that you go to unless you know all the people. But how many times does that really happen? So it's totally different than anything else that most people have experienced. So it's going to be like walking into Cheers. Everybody knows you. By Sunday morning when you're walking out of the lobby, everybody's going to be calling you by your name. That's pretty cool. These small details Steve taught me. And then, I mean, we have a checkoff list for these events that's over 3.5 pages long, down to the nitty-gritty of everything, so that when you come, everything's taken care of. You know, and everything just runs smooth. The only thing that doesn't run smooth sometimes is the agenda, where we start to overrun each time, but that's okay. That's just us, you know. But you won't even realize it. I mean, sometimes we have that agenda sitting there, and you have one in your hand, and sometimes we have to skip certain things because we're just running behind because, you know, people start asking questions. We had this good conversation, but you don't even know it. It just will run smooth. We know how to, you know, this is not our first rodeo. So we know how to work it. We know how to make you feel at home. Everything's there for you. And if it's not, you just come up and talk to me or Juanita or Sage or Larry or whatever, and somebody will help you because that's what we do. But it is almost